Welcome. The 1, 2, 3 simplified R1 proof. Presented is the 1, 2, 3 simplified R1 proof of the out of the Americas. R1 represents the Y-DNA haplogroup R1 or male marker R1. In this simplified approach, R1 is the root of all modern humans. Please see R1 inside the large purple circle embracing the whole of North America in the left upper side of your screen. Proof 1. The R1 tree shows the root, and the root is R1. Please see the small red circle circling R1. 2. The R1 map shows the location of the root R1 in North America. Please see R1 inside the large purple circle embracing the whole of North America. Please remember that R1b and R1b descendants are not the root, and the same for R1a, but already a descendant of the root R1. 3. The Britain R1b turnover figure shows the turnover of the blue dots around 4,400 years ago. Please see the blue arrow pointing down from the Stonehenge image, that are replaced or turned over by the red dots of R1b, which is a descendant of R1. Please see the red dots of R1b in the upper right half of the figure on your screen. They then had already replaced all blue dots. In later videos I present the markers, or groups, that are replaced, which are I and I2, and you could check and conclude that they present similar patterns and roots, as to R1, which is an indication of two indications. Indication 1, of the employment of sequential waves. Indication 2, of sequential hybridizations in dedicated cradles before departure out of the Americas. In the legend to the right you can check the markers, haplogroups. The blue dot markers I and I2, which in my opinion are a dedicated group of builders of Stonehenge, that also is a kind of one of several illuminated smoke lighthouses, visible from the Atlantic Ocean, etc., necessary to prepare for the arrival of the main wave of hybrids, which are the R1b hybrids, which today's dominate the modern humans R1. Again, the blue dot markers I and I2 were replaced by the red marker R1b, which was the then chosen and dedicated new population of, and around, Stonehenge, and somewhat later of Britain and of the rest of Western Europe and Western Eurasia. In this example of Britain, red dots are R1bm269, which is a hybrid or variant of R1b, and R1b is a descendant from the root R1. So all that had taken over after the turnover are the red dots of R1b, and they come from the root R1 or from the Americas, and consequently the red dots came from out of the Americas. After the turnover, the genome and haplogroup of all descendants consequently came from the Americas, and not from any other continent. All that eventually had come from Africa before the turnover was eliminated after the turnover 4,400 years ago, and consequently could not have delivered descendants from out of Africans that left Africa more than 4,400 years ago. If there had been out of Africans, they would have been amongst the blue dots, and would have been wiped out 4,400 years ago. So, they could not be or become our ancestor. Consequently, we modern humans R1 do not come out of Africa, but instead modern humans R1 come out of the Americas. Modern humans R1 are genetically more related to Amarans than to Africans. As a crucial starter, the Amarans and modern humans R1 have Neanderthal DNA. Further, sub-Saharan Africans, our supposed ancestors, do not have Neanderthal DNA. Please see red rectangle tangling sub-Saharan Africa. Further, Native Americans, our real and proven ancestors, do have the highest frequencies of Neanderthal DNA. Please see the red and other rectangles tangling parts of the Americas, especially the parts where we modern humans R1 had their root and came from. Further, we, modern humans R1 are morphologically more similar to Amarans than to Africans. This too is a distant indication in favor of my out of the Americas hypothesis. Getting from typical African skin to all types of Eurasian skin is a radical change, not some kind of a quick genetic drift, and can be best explained by different hybridizations. Resuming. It does not matter if Africans, the by consensus supposed or hypothesized Homo sapiens, interbred or not interbred with Neanderthal, or had acquired Neanderthal DNA or had not acquired, because these hypothesized Africans in Eurasia etc. would have been wiped out by the turnover independently of these different given initial situations. As a kind of confirmation or indication, the Neanderthal DNA that is carried by modern humans today does not present the markers of interbreeding with Neanderthal. In other words, for geneticists, they did not interbreed. This is one more paradigm for consensus and one more given in favor of out of the Americas. In fact, modern humans cannot have interbred with Neanderthals, at least not in Eurasia, etc. Because when the modern humans turned over Eurasia 4,000 and more years ago, the Neanderthal had long gone or been extinct, most probably by another, but earlier than wave of hybrids out of the Americas. Resuming. Modern humans do not come out of Africa and did not interbred with Neanderthal. Since modern humans came from the Americas, they brought the supposed Neanderthal DNA, haplotype B006, from the Americas. The haplotype world map of the B006 haplotype, Neanderthal etc., confirms this potential of the Americas, especially North America. Several other and also similar proofs are presented in other videos. Thank you for watching.